Right, this is the new video for power and authority. So power, in one way, it's the ability to get people to do things they do not want to do. But much more importantly, it's getting people to want to do things you want them to do, which means that culture is power. If you can control the culture, you have hegemony over the culture, you have true power. You can make ideas seem normal and natural, like respect for private property, or women wanting to do housework. That's power. Authority. In sociology, there are said to be three types. There's traditional authority, as exercised by kings based on religion. Charismatic authority, like Adolf Hitler. You follow that person, think that person is special, you must do what they say. And in Britain, we have what's called legal rational authority. You obey the law because basically you agree with it. You agree that a policeman has the right to stop and search you. You agree that an Ofsted inspector has the right to talk about schools. There are various systems of government. One of them, we're a democracy. Also, there's totalitarian governments. In a totalitarian state, the government, the state, controls all aspects of life. Where you live, what you do, where your job is, etc., etc. Britain, our system. We're a democracy. We're a representative democracy. We pick representatives, MPs. Britain is divided into 650 constituencies. Each one elects one representative, we call an MP, they go to Parliament. And with that number in mind, if you have more than half the MPs, 3, 2, 6 voting for you, then you are in charge under the first past the post system. We don't vote for people, we vote for parties. The Labour, Conservative, etc., etc. Parties put forward policies in a manifesto. Policies, what they would do if they became the government. And then you pick the party who will do the things you would like. How do you become the government? If you have more than 326 MPs. Prime Minister is the same. If you're the leader of the party with the most MPs, you become Prime Minister. So that's Parliament. Outside Parliament, there are pressure groups, lobbying groups, interest groups. They pressure the government into doing things that they want them to do. We have insider groups, they're friends of the government, like the Automobile Association. They're for drivers. So they will put pressure, they will lobby the government for their members' interests. They'll say we want more roads and cheaper petrol. Greenpeace, environmentalists, they're outside the government, they're not friends with them. They will pressurise the government into raising fuel prices, having less roads, more recycling, that sort of thing. So that's pressure groups, lobbying. All of this only works if we can hear all the sides of the arguments and people are educated enough to understand what they're being told. So what are the parties and what do they believe? So the Labour Party essentially believe in more tax for public services like healthcare, bigger state. Conservatives, less tax, so you keep more of your money, but because of that, there's less public services, more self-reliance, a small state. So under class alignment, the working class vote Labour, the middle class vote Conservative. However, in recent years, you've had what's called class D alignment. Some middle class people voted Labour, some working class people voted Conservative. Ethnicity, most ethnic minorities vote Labour. Gender, constantly swapping. At the last election, it was the other way around. More women voted Labour than men. Age, very strong connection. Older people more likely to vote Conservative, younger people more likely to vote Labour. We have non-voting. People don't vote because they're not registered. They didn't bother filling in the form and sending it back to the council. People don't vote because they're not bothered. They have apathy. They don't think it'll change anything. They can't be bothered. Others don't vote because they don't understand the system. They're baffled by it. Others don't vote because they live in a safe seat. The one party is definitely going to win there by a mile, so why would you bother voting? Also, you don't vote if you weren't brought up to vote, if you have a lack of political socialization, if you were never taken to a voting station as a kid, maybe you just don't think it's important. Then there's power outside politics. Power exists everywhere all the time. Somebody always has power. In the home, it's the family, normally the dad, on patriarchy. On the street, in the community, it's a variety of people. in a poorly run community, the youths will have a lot of power on the streets. At school, teachers have power. At work, the boss has power. Social movements. Not parties now, social, much bigger than that. They're trying to change the culture or make fundamental changes to the way things are run. Social movements don't agree with something really major about our culture. They really want to change it. Lots of examples here. Libertarians want a smaller state. Environmentalists want to change it to say the environment. Marxists and unions want to help the workers. The best example, I think, is feminists, the feminist social movement. They want to change our culture, change the whole way we run things until things are fair for both genders, fair for women. It's a feminist social movement. So they don't just want equal rights, they want that, and they want equal pay, and they want that, and they want changing the police service, they want changes to lots of things. And devolution. Different people, different parts of the country want more power in their local area. They want less power in Parliament, in Westminster, and more power where they live. So you have Welsh devolution, Scottish devolution. So Scottish and Welsh people have more power of what happens in their little countries. Finally, we think about the social background of MPs. You can read these 6 things. This describes nearly all MPs, which means that a certain small body of people control our politics. They have hegemony. The middle class, white men control our politics. They have hegemony. And that could be a problem because they can't understand the lives of people who are not these 6 things.